We're visiting today with Ron Anthony, who is the head and executive of Chevyrock Engineering. Ron, why don't you tell us a little bit about why you're in the gold business and what you're looking forward to in your next project and what you might have on your mind.
Well, we've been traveling to Ghana since 1997, my partner and myself, and naturally my boy, Ron Jr. And we've experienced a lot of good things in Ghana over the years. If you were to tell me or ask me, Ron, what's the biggest negative you ever had there? Oh, I'd probably have to say maybe a rainstorm, or maybe when, you know, we had a rainstorm and one of the pieces of equipment broke down and you're out in the rain, you're trying to fix it, get it going. But other than that, I think it's a wonderful place. The climate's good. The political scene is very, very good. It's a two-party democracy, and we have some good people working for us over there. Matter of fact, my partner is a permanent resident in Ghana now, and makes it a lot easier to obtain documentation and paperwork as we see fit when we need it, when we're trying to raise capital for a new project.
It sounds like you've got a pretty good working relationship, one that's been established for some time and gives you an edge most other companies wouldn't have going in there.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, what we're looking at here is about 15 years of education, you know, with the Ghana government, the Minerals Commission, the PMMC, which is the Precious Minerals Marketing Company. They're all good people to do business with. It's Christian-based and English-speaking. Yeah, out in the bush, you know, there is a few languages out there. One being Twi, which is Twi, which is good. You get used to it. And like I said, the people are real good to work with.
Tell us a little bit more about Kofi.
Oh, Kofi, the engineer and the geologist. He's excellent. He's been working in this area that we're opening up 2 new concessions. He's been there probably, I would have to say, about 5-6 years now. He's a Ghanaian, highly regarded geologist. So he knows the land there. He knows the Brim River. And you can look up in your encyclopedias online, the Brim River. During that belt, you know, around that belt, the Brim River, it just has the finest gold. I mean, your assays are always right around 95, 96. But Kofi's good. He's more than just a geologist. I can leave him there, right, to do pitting with Bill and not worry about anything.
And is he somebody you consider like a partner over there, or is that Joseph Ofori?
Oh, Joseph is the concessionaire. Joseph, we've known him for as long as we've been going to Ghana. We've stayed at his house. Joseph is a very keen businessman. He had an office in London. He had an accounting firm in London, but his roots are back in Ghana. Now he has a private school for children. He's just a wonderful person, and we've been able to acquire these 2 concessions based on our friendship. Okay, I'm not saying we're heavily discounted, we're buying them at a heavy discount, but he knows once we go in there, right, and we start working, he doesn't have to worry. He knows his royalties are going to be there every month or every week, however he chooses to get paid. But no, we have a very strong relationship.
So, do you employ quite a few people in a project like this over there? How does the government look upon the mining operations over there?
Well, the government looks upon us as partners with Ghana, okay? And when you're dealing with small-scale mining operations in Ghana, you need a Ghanaian partner, okay? You need a Ghanaian partner that works hand in hand with you, and you cut them in for a small percentage. And that's basically it. You know, you get approval, like we have the licenses, we have the maps, we have everything for these 2 parcels of land.
So how many people would you say you would be employing over the course of a year, let's say?
Oh, I think we probably get up to about as many as 30, and that's including the pit crews. You know, that's an ongoing process.
But the government must like that, right?
Oh yeah, they like that, and you know, we can't overpay anybody, so that's good. We got a nice level of pay structure for these people. I think the government, what they like mostly is the fact that all the gold that we mine out of the ground, we bring it to the PMMC. It's the most reputable firm in the country, and it's government backed, and they're very fair. They pay you right on the spot, instantaneously, no waiting for your money. You know, when you bring them the gold, and they take a piece of that. So that ensures them, and it ensures us, a good working relationship.
Are there any other individuals over there that you lean on from time to time that can be of help to you? Or
oh yeah, we have a very, very large arena of friends there. Very loyal friends, and a lot of people that have worked in the petroleum business there, Total Fuel, Elf Oil. One of our closest friends is Newton Natiga, and Newton is a chemical engineer, and he just retired this year, so he's going to be working with us more or less, I wouldn't say full-time, but on a part-time basis. And let me tell you something, I got my education thanks to Newton about Ghana, because every weekend he'd pick me and Bill up on a Saturday morning, and we'd spend all day Saturday going up and down the countryside, Lake Volta, Kumasi. It was very, very rewarding having him for a friend. Saturdays and Sundays, we had a great time with him. We learned a lot.
When you go over there to set things up, how long do you? Will you be living there on a permanent basis? How would you be operating that?
Well, Bill's there. He's living there on a permanent basis. I'm going to put 3 months on, and probably 1 month back here. 3 months on, 1 month back here, and I'll alternate on that schedule with my son.
That's great. Your son's involved in it also. He has.
Oh yeah.
In your prior operations over there, did he get some pretty good experience?
Oh, absolutely. And you know, Ron Jr., he is the key to the men, the work. I mean, he gets right down in the trenches with them, and he's got a good working relationship with all the engineers and the mechanics. So I mean, he's good. He used to run the night shift, and that's another thing. I mean, we're running a day shift starting on this project, but after a while, after everybody gets engaged and they get familiar with how we operate this particular piece of land, we'll set up an evening crew.
Well, so it sounds like we've got a new project plan. Without going into the financial details or values of gold currently, because it's still going up and down, or without getting into the particulars of the investment, how are the basics of the project put together from the land standpoint to the testing to the digging to the all the way to when you extract it and go to the bank with the gold, so to speak?
Well, then again, it all comes down to the relationship you have with Joseph and his brother, the concessionaires. On good faith, right, he's allowed us to go in there and do some preliminary testing. That's what Bill's been doing over the last several months. So now, once we commence our operation by being there full swing, and what that means is we own the rights to the property. Okay, we own all the mineral rights. Bill and Kofi will have 3 or 4 pit crews, and all they will do is continually dig pits and test the soil to see where the greatest deposits of gold are. Because with a small scale mining operation, we want to go into this area where the most gold per cubic meter is. Okay, we want to try and get as much profit out of the ground in the early stages. That way we can get rid of any indebtedness we have to investors or to banks, and then the rest is more or less gravy. So we go into the high yielding areas where there's quite a bit of gold. like anything above one gram, that's fantastic. Anything above 0.4 is really, really good. And then we'll engage with our heavy equipment. We'll start stockpiling. By that time, we'll have the equipment in to wash the gravels, and we'll be smelting, refining right on site. And once a week, either the Minerals Commission will come to us and they'll buy the gold from us and they test it right there with a density gun. And our money's in the bank. Our money's wired directly in the bank. As soon as they get on the phone and say, yeah, they got 74 ounces here, and that's it. It's a done deal.
Well, for those of us that are uneducated about gold mining, from what experience you've given me in the past few months, is that there's a difference between the way you mine gold over here in the United States, and everybody's envisions going into a cave in the side of a mountain and digging the gold out, bringing it out, or sifting it through a pan on a riverbed. How's it done out in Ghana? Because I remember seeing some pictures about a deep pit.
Well, there's two different ways. There's probably more than two different ways, but the two main ways of mining is either hard rock mining, okay, where you go into a mountain, right, and you chop out the ledge and you crush it, you pulverize it, and then through a process you smelt the gold out of it, okay, and you separate the gold from all the powdered dust. Then there's alluvial, and alluvial is what we do. We wash gravels. So in other words, we'll, like on our concessions, the Barim River, okay, that river is probably 200 feet across in some areas, maybe some areas 400 or 500 feet across. But 60 million years ago, that river could have been 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 miles wide, okay? And everybody knows that gold is the heaviest element on the planet. So it finds its way down to the bedrock, okay? No matter how fine it is over the years, through sedimentation and the glacial periods, right? Gold finds its way down to the bedrock, and in the riverbed, okay, there's bedrock, and that's where your largest deposits of gold are. So when I say on either side of this river, it could have stretched out for a mile, 2 miles, right? Well, that's why we're mining. That's why we're mining along the river, because it's the richest areas in Ghana.
You say gravel, going back to the pits. I mean, how do and I know you're going to use heavy equipment. How do you? Do human beings dig the gravel out from deep depths and load it into the machine?
Oh, no, absolutely not. It's all done through machinery. The only time our personnel, when they dig the pits, the test pits, that's just what they are, they're test pits. They go down, they get rid of the overburden, they get rid of the subsoil. And the minute they hit gravel, we start calculating, we start measuring how much gravel is in that certain area. Do we have 1 meter? Do we have 2, 3, 4 meters of gravel? Okay, and what we do is we'll take an amount of gravel that's perfectly measured, like a ½ meter. Okay, we have ½ meter boxes that will fill up outside the pits, right? And then we'll wash that small amount of gravel. And let's say it's a ½ meter that we're washing. Well, if we get like 0.5 grams out of it, you know, for that ½ meter, that means we're going to have a whole gram in a whole meter. So now we can gauge in that area. And you know, these guys are scientists out there. They might be backwoodsmen, you know, and farmers, but you know, take a guy like Kofi, the geologist. He's got a good idea of how much gold is in that land, just by the historical values that the Brim River provides us with, and with a few test pits. But you know, when we get into extensive test pitting, okay, we're doing that because we don't want to waste fuel. We don't want to waste heavy equipment. We want to get the most bang for the buck. Okay, the most bang for the buck. When we bring that 345 cat in there, right, to start excavating this week, right, we want to know that there's a high deposit of gravel in there, okay, with a high grade of gold. Okay, that way we can get it out fast. We want to get it out fast, get it washed, get it smelted, and bring it to market as quickly as possible. That satisfies the investors, and naturally it satisfies the owners.
So some of those pits, test pits that I saw in pictures from your previous projects look to be, well, 30, 50, 60 feet deep.
Oh no, they're not that deep. Nah, I'd say the most we'll go down is maybe 22 feet.
And then you excavate with heavy equipment.
Oh yeah,
down into that level.
Absolutely.
That's interesting.
Absolutely.
Well, you've given me another education, and I can see there's a passion for the business and passion for gold.
Oh yeah, it's right here.
What do you like most about going over there and the projects that you have coming up?
Oh, everything you see behind me. I love everything about Ghana and everything about the mining business. I mean, it's really unique. I mean, you know, people come up to me and say, well, what have you been doing lately? I've been over in Africa mining for gold. Get out of here. You know, they don't believe you. You know, so that's why I document everything with video, and that's a good way of providing our investor groups with up-to-date information. You know, hopefully we'll get a strong satellite signal over there, and we'll be able to do it live. We'll have webcams all over the place. And, you know, as we go along, it gets better and better and better.
Well, Ron, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today. This is Ed Sanabria thanking you for your time and wishing you luck on this project you've got in the hopper.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Ed, and look forward to many years of having a devout friendship like you, and you know, more projects.
Let's go make some money.
Absolutely.
Bye now.